Thank you. I think I would like to start by the hybrid workplace. I do believe that it's a concept that everyone should embrace. Again, I'm saying it from a manufacturing and sales company where more than 70% of our people need to physically report. But I don't think that any company at this stage or in this age and time can afford the luxury not to embrace this hybrid workplace. Of course, there are a lot of functions that do not need to report physically on a day-to-day. And we have seen productivity improve. We have seen projects take off. We have seen deliverables improving day by day in these people that have more flexibility. I think that we also need to make use of technology in order to track this. I was sharing that we track all the time that people spend in meetings. We try to give them feedback on what's the right balance. We need to intervene if something is not going on the right way. So I recommend, and probably the learnings that we had as a company, is that you need to embrace technology to have these analytics. You need to take a look at them. It's not just allowing or assuming that people, just because we are in 2022, will know how to manage properly all the tools, will know how to balance their time. So we need to support our people. I would also invite everyone not only to implement, and maybe it cannot be done overnight, and it cannot be the same for each company and for every single company. It will look different. I think it takes time to identify what makes sense for your business, what makes sense for the workplace that you have, but definitely in terms of what you would get in return. And this is flexibility. These are better contributions. This is better employee morale, employees feeling safer or feeling well taken care of. That's the most important part. Now, I would also like to connect well-being to everything that I have mentioned. And I believe that the hybrid workplace, the new ways of working, the future of work, or however you want to refer to it, is not possible if we do not take real responsibility and real awareness in terms of how our employees are feeling. It's not anymore only physical. And please don't get me wrong. I was just sharing that it is also very important to us to at least try to improve the physical health and well-being of our associates one day at a time. But mental health is very relevant, and we might not have given it the importance in the past. To us, it was maybe a later learning, but that's why we have implemented all this medical coverage of all this mental health support in our day-to-day operations. And this is not exclusive for the people that are sitting behind a desk. Again, during the pandemic and when those that needed to report to work physically on a day-to-day basis, they also faced fears. They faced risks or different conditions. They wanted to keep their families safe. They wanted to keep their families protected. So that's why we have handheld all our employees through the process, trying to support to the best of our ability, trying to deploy as many instances to keep them not only physically healthy, but also mentally healthy. These concepts cannot go separate from each other. I don't think that there's the possibility of a hybrid workplace if we're not taking all this into consideration. For some, and maybe I would count myself in that group, that we have a longer career, and I don't want to give up my age here, but sometimes you need that physical contact. Sometimes you need to have a face-to-face meeting, and being able to transition to a virtual way of working can also be very difficult for us. It was for me. Personally, I experienced many challenges in the beginning. So having my company, having my leaders also concerned about the way that I was performing, the way that I was coping with the circumstances, also created a difference for me as part of this family. So I feel as leaders, we have that accountability. We have realized that we are responsible to ensure that our employees can adapt to this hybrid workplace, can adapt to the new ways of working, but that are kept healthy at all times. At least on a mental health perspective, that if someone needs help, they're getting it, that we are tracking as much as we can how things are progressing. It's a lot of learnings, and it will take time for everyone. But in the end, I think that having your eyes open, your ears open, and discussing these things with your leadership teams will make the difference.